Hey, welcome everyone to CapEx Cards. Today we're going to be looking for inexpensive Joe Burrow rookie cards that we could potentially invest in, get them graded, and then sell them for a relatively decent profit. Now, the big difference on this channel, maybe as opposed to some of the bigger sports card channels, we're not dealing with an endless budget here. Okay, we're dealing with a family-sized budget, if you will. So most of the time, I am looking for cards that are under $100. And truth be told, even better if we can get under 50, then pay that 25-ish dollars to get them graded, and then hopefully sell them for triple digits, something like that. That's kind of the perfect setup, but we'll walk through it here together now. All right, so here we are. We're going to start from scratch. I live in Cincinnati, so I just came up with the idea for the Joe Burrow rookie cards. We know that Joe Burrow rookies can be very expensive depending on what variation you get. But for this exercise, we're going to be looking at the more like base type cards and see what opportunities are there. Now, if you collect sports cards, you know that there are a million different apps and databases that you can use to do some research. But when I'm in the sort of idea phase, okay, when I'm scouting at a high level, I really like to use this sportscardpro.com. It's 100% free. I think you just have to sign up for an account, and then there's additional features you can pay for. Right now, I'm on the free plan, and when I come up with a player or a year, let's just say 2020 score, because we're going to get into that, or just Joe Burrow 2020, this to me is one of the better places to start, and I'll show you the reason why. But first things first, let's go ahead and type in. I did do some pre-research on this so that we can go a little bit faster, but we'll type in Joe Burrow score. And here is our list of Joe Burrow cards. Now, if you do a more specific search on this website, you can actually sort the different columns, but when it's a big one, and we know how cards have so many variations nowadays, you just sort of have to go through. But what I'm looking for most importantly is almost on the PSA 9 and how that compares to the ungraded, and obviously PSA 10 too. So in a perfect world, I want to still make a couple bucks if I land with a 9 on my grading journey. That doesn't always work, and sometimes in modern cards, you'll be lucky to get your money back if you get a 9 instead of a 10. But for fun, that's sort of the credentials that I'm looking for. And as I look through here, again, I need to be able to purchase a card, pay $25 to get it graded, and then sell it for hopefully close to triple digits. There's one that we're going to use here as our example today. It is this Joe Burrow Gold. And you can see it does have a list of recent sales. I will say that like 130 point usually has better detail on the sales, but for the high level view, again, that's all I care about right now, is the high level view. I can see back in August, we had, really quite a few sales at around that $10 or less mark. Now, looking at the 9s, there's not a ton of reassurance that we would get our money back from, let's just say, paying $10 plus $25 to grade. Looks like it would be a net loser. Most of this data, which provided this average up here, is pretty old. This comes from 2023. But in the perfect example, which we'll see on future videos, what I'd like to see here is a number of, between $30 or $40. The problem with Ultramodern, of course, is that 9s are turning into raw quicker than you can possibly imagine. Now, on the 10 front, the good news on the 10 front is we have had a sale in August. It was $95. And generally speaking, this year, this card has gotten close to the 90s. So if we can get a copy for $10-ish plus 25, it's obviously $35, then maybe we can turn it into 90. All right, so flipping over to eBay now, I've typed in, I probably don't need all this. We can just use score Joe Burrow Gold, number 360. Let's see what pops up here. And now for the hard part, in my opinion, is there'll be, I guess there's not plenty of listings with this gold one, but we need listings that aren't graded, and we need listings that are 100% in mint condition, no questions asked. So oftentimes what I will do is scroll down, bring up the filters. We want graded, no, and we want card condition, near mint, or not specified. What I've been finding on eBay is these excellent ratings and certainly very goods. They just simply don't cut it. We're talking about PSA 10 here, so if you've automatically identified it as very good or excellent, it probably doesn't work. Here you see that I did highlight one earlier when I was doing my research. This isn't too bad, so it's $15 plus $8 to ship, so call it $16.32. We'll take a look at the condition here, bring it up. One corner's good, two corners good, that looks good, that looks good. Tough to tell on this top if that's sort of like a diamond cut or anything, but he has the overall view here, and I don't see any whiting. Now we'll take a look at the back, take another look at the corners, 2, 3, and 4. Now we are going to go back and check the centering. So I don't know if it shows on the screen, but I have this little magnifying glass, right? That's my mouse cursor. And I often use this stupid magnifying glass to get a feel of the width of the borders. So here my magnifying glass sort of sits in here. It's got room on both sides. And I'll show you another technique down the road here, but we got approximately the same on the left side. Then at the top, again, we got room on both sides. And then on the bottom, and this card is taking a picture sort of vertically. It looks pretty centered to me. Obviously, you want to pan out and make your own guess. But for all intents and purposes, this card looks pretty good. And now we just have to decide, do we want to make the offer or just go ahead and buy it now? Now, when I'm working by myself and not sharing, these ideas publicly, oftentimes I'll make an offer because I know that in the grand scope of the world, there's not a ton of people searching very specifically, right, for this card. Now, since this is on video, there could be a handful of people that go out, try to get those, and I think we saw back, there's not a ton of them for sale right now. So this is on best match. I'll do ending soonest. There's a lot of the base version with the white around it. You have one for 18 that's starting to get up there, especially for a card that's really not like super mega special. I think we have a couple opportunities here. If I wanted to buy this after the video, there's at least 2 of them that I could pick off and at least start the process. All right, now another thing that I did in the research phase before recording that I'll share in more detail in future videos, but I have a very simple calculator, it's basically an Excel sheet, right, that determines, the ideal buy price for something like that. So I think with Joe Burrow, we saw sales of about $90. This takes out the 25% profit, takes out the cost of grading, which I generally just leave at $25. I got some other grading options, but for now I just leave it at that. And then you see on the next line, 15% cost to sell. So that's important too, because you never get the $90, right? Even if you're selling at a card show or to an individual, they always ask for something off the top. So I try to build that in, and that leaves me down here with a max cost of the Joe Burrow that we were looking at earlier. Max cost here would be $29 with shipping, okay? Now we try to stay away from that line, the 29 line, and come in under it. And I think in this scenario, we would definitely come under, especially if I submitted an offer and it was accepted. But this little calculator helps me anyway to keep stuff on target, make sure that we're making like good decisions. Now, the X factor, of course, in this whole thing is, does it get a 10? Right? So that particular example that I did with the Joe Burrow score, gold rookie number 360, the 9 was not in my comfort zone whatsoever. Had a 9 that recently sold for 16. You can't even get a card graded for $16, let alone buy and grade, which would run up, obviously you're talking with the price that we saw, let's just say it was $15 even plus 25 to grade, that's $40. And then you talk about selling, probably giving up 15% just to sell. It's probably not worth it in the scope of time, but I did want to just share that example. There is some long haul to that Joe Burrow card that I think could work. The idea, obviously, when you're working at levels this low like I am, trying to get under $50 cards, the perfect scenario is that the 9 would be actually worth something in case you get gemmed out, so to speak. And obviously, condition is everything. Talk more about those things as videos go on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please do the like and the subscribe and all the things. Help this channel get started. We will see you on the next one.